motion. Williams drifting, sprinting for space, in all kinds of trouble, putting it up for grabs in the end zone. Connect! He got it! For the touchdown! They've done it again! Unbelievable!
Well, welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of NBC. That just warmed my heart. That just warmed my heart. And we should have won that damn game too. Should have won it. But anyway, my guest today, I'm excited to have him. We're going to talk about a little baseball, South Side and North Side. He hosts the Plunked podcast, as well as the On the Go podcast, dealing with Chicago. For all of you who don't know, they call Chicago the Go. For all you non-urban people. Just the Go. Kind of word you up on the urban jargon in Chicago. You can find him on Twitter at ebuck76. Let's welcome my man's in now. Emilio Bucks. Emilio, what's up?
What's happening, my brother? No more Chi-Town. We're from the Go.
From the Go, baby. Hey, one of my guys, Rick, in the chat, Rick, was at the game Tuesday for $5 Tuesdays, the menu. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I think me, Emilio, and Ken met up. It wasn't 25, but I think it was 24. We met up, I believe it was a Tuesday because of $5 Tuesday, $5 menu Tuesdays.
Exactly. It was some good eating.
Man, who you telling? Right? We're going to have to do that again on a Tuesday. It's going up.
Definitely on a Tuesday. Definitely on a Tuesday.
Bring my roll of fins. Here you go, boss. Here you go. Here you go.
And they only get a couple of them now.
Oh, man. But listen. Look at my man Black Diamond says, Emilio, FGB.
Hey, FGB all day, baby. All day and night. Off season, it don't matter.
It don't stop.
It don't
Can't stop, won't stop.
It won't stop. FGB every day. Till the world blow up.
Oh,
the world, Craig.
You see why I love these guys in the chat? They're stupid, man. They keep me going every show. You guys get me fired up. Well, let's talk a little baseball, man. Baseball's fun on both sides of town.
On both sides of town, my brother.
Let's start with, because you also host the Plunk podcast, as I mentioned. So with Kristen Petit as well. But let's start with the South Side, because the South Side rules. Cuck the Fubs. Black Diamond gonna get mad at me.
So will Kristen.
Yeah. But how excited are you? How surprised are you, if at all? All right, it's the second sweep of the season. They only had 2 series sweeps last year. And this team looks, well, tell me how you think they look. How excited were you when they swept the Los Angeles Angels of Santa Clara, Santa Anaheim?
Of Hollywood. Yeah, man. I'm excited about the team, about the progress that they've made. I won't say I'm surprised. This is what I would expect them to be doing at this point in the rebuild. You know, they're supposed to be winning some games now and winning some series against teams, you know, even though they might be against bad teams like Anaheim, LA Angels, but it's showing that the Sox aren't the worst team in the league. And I know that's not saying a whole lot, but that's saying something for this team based on where we've been the last few years.
It has been. And you know what? With the embarrassing record 2 years ago, our inability to get out of the 100 loss column last year, we were close. I think this year is going to be our year where we don't even flirt with 100 losses. Your thoughts?
Uh, if you might not remember, but I predicted that this team would not lose 100 this year. I also predicted that they would finish third in the AL Central this year. And it's only May 1st, but where are they? They're third in
Third?
the Central. They're on pace to lose less than 100 games. So, hopefully, my prediction is continues to come to fruition. Uh, I am again happy that they are out of the gutter, that they're out of the cellar. I'm not surprised. This is where they should be, Shawn. On their rebuild, they are supposed to be getting better, and they are trending upward. Whether they'll be able to maintain, this is by all means, this is still going to be a lean year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I expected them to be doing what they're doing now. They just don't have as much talent as a lot of other teams, but they're playing just as smart as other teams. And that's what's winning them games. They're making the right throws, they're running the base path aggressively and successfully. Um, Even though they are at the bottom in batting average in the league, they're still taking a lot of walks. This team does not strike out a lot, and I got to give hats off to Will Venable for bringing in this culture of this structured team. And you could just tell this team likes playing with each other, and they like playing for Will Venable.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Um, Here's the one thing. I don't know if I agree with you about the talent. I think they have talent. I think it just hasn't developed yet. I think they're ready for it. And believe me, I'm not putting them up there next to the Yankees or anything like that. But I think they got some ballers. They're just growing,
Right.
and that's the thing that I love about it is that Will Venable is getting the most out of these players. All right, he's not afraid to bunt. All right, lately we've been coming up with key hits with runners in scoring positions, aka the triple by Sam Antonacci. All right, in the ninth,
Yes.
in the ninth.
In the ninth.
All right,
In the ninth.
in your last
Comeback wins.
bets.
We're coming back in games.
And one of the things that I said was, because remember, Sir Anthony Dominguez and King Booker were wanting to call him "Damn Anthony Dominguez." He's
That's
got.
a good one.
We lost some games we should have won, but
Exactly.
I also said we're gonna win some games that we should probably lose. And coming back in the
Exactly.
ninth, I said now we're starting. It's a law of averages, especially in baseball. It's 162 games. Now we're starting the thing that it has me excited. Talk to me about the confidence that the White Sox are having coming back. All right, coming back because you had the first two games in the bag. All right, you won the first game, you won the second game in extras, and you're like, they could have been. All
They
right,
could
well,
have settled.
cool, but they didn't. Talk to me
And
what that says about this young team, where they don't settle and rest on their laurels, winning the first two games of the series, but battling back to take the three.
The advantage of having a bunch of young guys is, again, these young guys that are coming up were, the best in their class growing up. So these young players be used to winning until they get to maybe a losing team in the majors. So the fact that these players expect to win, they're like youthfully ignorant, and they go out there and expect to win. They don't care who they go up against. They expect to win at any point in this game. Again, some youthful ignorance, and I got to give it to Will Venable again with the coaching, keeping them focused, keeping them feeling like, hey, 2 out of 3 isn't enough. We could sweep this team. We're at home. We could sweep this team. And they thought that they could win that third game throughout the entire game, even going in down at the ninth inning. How many teams, in the past few years, even the talented Sox teams we had in the past few years, that once we were down in the ninth, they sort of just threw in the towel, and you're not seeing that with this team. This team thinks They believe they can win at any point. They can go off for 3 or 4 runs at any point, even in the 8th or 9th inning. We've seen them do it in the past couple of weeks.
Guys, we're joined by Emilio Bucks. He's the co-host of the On the Go podcast. We're talking baseball, Chicago baseball here on Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. It's what good teams do. It's what, and everything, you follow your leader. And you mentioned Will Venable, right? And there was a smart guy who once said coaching matters. And Will Venable has these guys believe it, that they can win. It doesn't matter if you're down 1 or 2 in the ninth. It doesn't matter. And the fact is, and you talked about the youthful ignorance, they're youthfully ignorant enough to believe it. Like, yeah, we can.
We can come back and win this game.
And then when you do, what that does, the confidence that builds in this young team, it manifests in future games because now they believe they're not out of any game. Exactly. And when you start winning early, especially when you lose early, Dominguez blew a couple of leads, blew a couple of saves, and yeah, you want to be mad at the closer, but there are also a lot of other times in the game that they wasted opportunities.
Of course.
But
men in scoring position, all of that. Yeah.
But when you start winning these games, the confidence that it has that permeates through this team is second to none, and it shows on the field. Talk to me about this young pitching staff that we have and some of the young, bright arms that we have on this staff that are really showing out to start the season.
I'm going to get right to it and talk about Davis Martin.
Man,
he is a stud, and he has, I always say if the Sox do one thing right is they do well by developing young pitchers. Yeah. And they've had Davis Martin in their system. They drafted him. He's been in our system I believe they drafted him. He's been in our system since 21, I think. And he's been lights out. Even with Shane Smith going down and, needing to go back to the pitch factory, some other guys have really stepped up. We got guys like Kay who have really stepped up and made a difference. The bullpen has come in and thrown some impressive innings at times, and everybody's constantly looking for bullpen innings. There's so many guys that they're working with and bringing up. It's hard to keep track right now, I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean? Especially the relief pitchers. But I think that plays to their advantage because the other team isn't quite sure about who this guy is and what kind of stuff he's throwing right now. And then you got guys like Jordan Leisure who've been in the mix for a while that come in and throw quality innings. And hats off to this pitching staff for keeping us in games, giving us a chance to win on most days.
Most days is right. Defensively, they're playing very well also. And that's what you have to have when you have a team that hasn't, when the talent deficit is not in our favor, or the talent level is not in our favor because it just hasn't developed yet, or whatever. Maybe we're just a less talented team. We just play
a little bit of both. We'll split the difference. Yeah. A little bit of both, yeah. I think. Yeah.
So you can't give teams like that extra outs. You can't miss cutoff man, the cutoff man, and allow a guy to advance 90 feet. And we're not doing that. And that
we're throwing guys out who are attempting to steal. Not
yes.
to off, but those are things that we're doing right.
And that's what has me excited about this team. I'm not putting them in the World Series. I'm not even putting them in the playoffs. I'm putting them at around 500. And to go from 40 wins to 60 wins to 80 wins in consecutive seasons is saying a hell of a lot for Will Venable. Because Will Venable went to 60 his first year, and then to get to 80 his second year, an 18 to 20 game increase. Man, I love what this guy's doing. I love the way that he's demanding of these youngsters, and the youngsters are responding to his. They're picking up what he's putting down, and I love it.
And King Booker World is, I hope I pronounced that right. It says he's saying it right. The young guys stepping up, making the most of every opportunity. Is again, it's that youthful exuberance, that youthful ignorance that they're used to winning, and so they don't think about like, oh, I'm on a bad team. I'm supposed to play bad, and nobody expects us to win. Like, no, they go in there with the attitude like we're supposed to win this game. We got a shot at winning this game. And once they win a couple, well, we know, Shawn, winning is infectious. And
Oh
once
yeah,
the smiles start coming on people's faces, that's infectious too. And when you start seeing people like Murakami, who's a great clubhouse guy from
we
what
haven't even
I'm
got to
hearing,
him yet. We haven't even talked about him
right,
yet.
I won't even go too far down that rabbit hole yet. But when you got guys stepping up and playing by example, and these young guys can follow lead, like this team is going to surprise some people this year.
They really are, and let's go down that hole and talk about the money man, Mooney man. He has been he's the top.
Mooney man with the moon shots.
Yeah, he's atop the majors. He's tied. Aaron Judge hit a homer the other day, so he's tied for 12 with the Judge with 12. Talk to you about how much energy he's injected into this White Sox team, because no one knew about this guy. No one knew about this guy until when they announced him. Then he had to go do some research. Okay, this guy's a power hitter, a left-handed big stick. All right, but that's just Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He had 62 homers in 1 year. Yeah, but that's just Japan.
That's Japan.
Can he do it
here? You don't know how it's going to translate.
Yeah. This dude, this shit's translating, boys. Translate like a mother Hubbard. Mm-hmm. And I like it. I like it. Talk to you about the infusion of his personality, his power, and his in that locker room, in that clubhouse. How's that benefited this clubhouse?
You know what he brings? He brings the true grit, true culture of White Sox baseball. I'll throw a few names out there. Jose Abreu, Paul Canerico, Frank Thomas. These are the hard-hitting first basemen for the White Sox. When the White Sox have won, we always got that hard-hitting first baseman. I mean, it goes without saying your power comes from your corners. We get it, but we got some real sluggers that come out of our first base area. And, Andrew Vaughn was supposed to be that. He was supposed to be next.
He's doing that up in Milwaukee.
He's doing it in Milwaukee now. He was supposed to be that for us. So it's great to see Mune Murakami coming in and taking up where Abreu left off and becoming that hard-hitting, slugging first baseman that a winning White Sox team sorely needs. It's great. It's must-see TV. You can see the fans in the stands just start buzzing when he comes up to bat. Like when you got a guy that he's got a chance to hit one out of the park, a legitimate shot every time to hit one out of the park. I mean, it's great for the fans. It's great for the other guys on the team, for the organization. Hey man, they're gonna have to come up with a home run celebration sooner than later, I think. And Murakami's a big part of that.
And they are. And the thing about it is, like, the crazy part that I talked about last show, like you said, he's must-see TV. It's not just in Chicago, man.
No, yeah.
It's talking nationwide about this dude. When was the last time that people stopped what they were doing to find out what a White Sox hitter had done that day? Probably do we have to go back to the Big Hurt? In the 90s?
I get nationally?
Nationally.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's foreign territory for us. It's a Sox fans. People want to see this guy, and he's humble. He's got so much power. That one, I forgot who it was. It looked like a pop-up, but he flicked that to left center field. I'm like,
Shawn, he barely got the end of the bat onto the ball and was able to power it out.
You know what I'm talking about. Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Barely flipped his bat out there and powered it out. That was amazing. That shows what kind of power, like real raw power this guy has. Like, he's not like a super imposing guy like Aaron Judge or Big Hurt, but he's got some pop.
He does. He does. And
I like Josh Gibson.
Japanese Josh. And let's just go.
Hey, what up, Crooked Eye? I meant to shout out Crooked Eye when he
How can we expect the rest of the season to go?
It's gonna be up and down, Shawn.
Who do you expect to kind of break out and really start to have a good season? Colson Montgomery? Because Colson Montgomery is not going to cover off the ball. Chase Mydrov is a grinder. He's not a Ferrari. He's like a Honda that just always that's reliable till the wheels fall off. All right, he's that grinder. But then you have other guys. You got Sam Antonacci, who's another grinder. All right, you got Vargas.
Miguel Vargas.
Okay, who's doing work at third. Who do you think might have a really good year this year?
I'm looking at Montgomery. I think the spotlight is on him, and I think he has accepted the challenge. He started off kind of slow, as did a lot of people around the league. It happens. But he has since picked it up, and kudos. Kudos to what's his name? The White Sox hitting coach, Kevin something.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but kudos to him making in-season adjustments the way he has. The White Sox still among the bottom in batting average because they started off so slow. That first 2 weeks was brutal, Shawn. But they have since picked it up. Kudos to that hitting coach who has
Derek Showman.
Showman, yeah. Who has made some in-season adjustments, especially with Montgomery, who struggled early on to hit a lot of breaking stuff, and has kind of coached him into being a little bit more patient and waiting on the pitch as opposed to going out and just trying to get a pitch. He's not like Murakami can just go out and get a pitch. We've seen him do that. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to wait as much on the right pitch. He can go out and get one. Colson, he's the type of player who needs to be a little bit more patient and wait for his pitch. And you're starting to see that. And I think that is going to continue. I think he's going to become a bit more of the face of the franchise, at least for now. Again, you can't count Murakami out as becoming possibly a face of the franchise either.
Yeah.
Because again, what he's doing is kind of unexpected. You know what I mean? So I'm saying Montgomery, but keep an eye on Murakami as being a guy who throughout this year is going to be, a perennial all-star.
Perennial
he's coming
problem.
to work. Yeah, problem for the league.
Our guy Rick Gonzalez in the chat. I was telling you, he went to the game Tuesday for $5 menu Tuesdays. But I asked him on Wednesday, I'm like, this is the crazy part. Like, how many Murakami jerseys did you see in the stands? And he was like, a lot. You know what I mean? Because you're still going to see your big time Frank Thomas. You're still going to see your Carlton Fisk. You're still going to see your Konerkos. You're still going to see your AJs. But there was really no one on this team. You might even still see your Tim Andersons because he was hot for a while. But, man, for a guy to be here less than 2 months and have a identifiable number of his jerseys in English and Japanese in the stadium speaks volumes for how he's revitalized this Sox team, but also this Sox fan base.
And once the weather really breaks and that ball starts flying out of Sox Park, it's going to really be something to watch Murakami at the plate. Seriously, stay tuned.
Amazing.
Stay tuned. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come on this team.
You ain't lying, man. You ain't lying. Oh, let's talk about the Cubs. They took 2 out of 3. Oh, I got a lot to say about them jokers. So we got a lot of Cub fans in the chat, so I love messing with them. They lost the first game to the Padres, came back to take the last two. Is PCA starting to get hot?
Well, it certainly looks like it. And you can see that he has started to slow the game down at the plate for himself. He's starting to take more pitches. He started to walk more, which was a key sign that he was going to start hitting soon. Because once you make the pitcher throw you strikes, well, then you
I
can
can do
hit.
something. You
Now
got to
you
do
can do
something.
something with it, but the thing is, PCA had to slow things down and stop swinging at those balls out of the zone. They were setting them up real nasty outside of the zone every rip, and he was falling for. Now he's taking those pitches, and so and he started getting some walks. Now they got no choice but to move that location a little bit inward, and once you put that thing anywhere over the plate, he's got some pop on his bat and he can go get it. And you can see just he hit those home runs in the last two games. You're starting to see the weight just come off of that kid's
That
shoulders. You know what I
swag
mean?
is coming back. You see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
attitude,
And
that little
he's
bravado.
somebody who needs that. Like
Yeah.
he wears his heart on his sleeve. God bless him. You know what I mean? And he could be really hard on himself. And you're starting to see he's kind of easing up. He's coming out of that being shell shocked at the beginning of the season. He signed this big extension. So
Hanging
obviously
out
he
with
felt.
Caleb.
Yeah, hanging, the man about town. So obviously he felt a little pressure coming in. Maybe he was feeling himself a little bit, and his slump maybe even humbled him a bit, and it just slowed things down for him. And I think that's what he needed, and it's kind of coming to fruition. He's starting to hit again.
And I think, and that's the one thing, is like I was telling, like, a lot of my Cub friends were, I was telling them, I'm like, look, I said, there's no easy out in that lineup, 1 through 9. There's no, you look at that lineup, you're like, okay, pretty good.
Yeah, now Dansby's hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I would tell them, like, relax. You don't want 9 people on a heater at the same time.
Sure don't.
Give me 3 or 4. Okay?
Sure don't.
Give me 3
That's
or 4.
what you need.
And then when they cool down, 3 or 4 others can warm up. And now it seems like, okay, now with PCA, Seiya Suzuki, all right, those guys may start heating up. Okay, and then another 2 weeks, they go down, and then the last 3 or 4, all right, guys start to heat up. They have enough talent on their team in that lineup that 3 or 4 guys could carry them for 2 weeks, and you're good. The pitching has been okay. 3 or 4 guys can carry them. You got runs. They're okay. You just do not want all 9 guys on a heater, because if they're all going to get hot together, they're probably all going to get cold together. And you don't want that. So the Cubs are in a good spot. I was teasing my Cub fan friends. A lot of people here, because it was like 2 weeks ago, they were in last place in the division. They're like a game and a half, 2 games out. They would have been in first in the AL Central, but I was just teasing them because they were, and the Sox were second from last. I just giving them shit because they're Scrubs fans. I mean, Cub fans. And but
like, who would have thought at any point this season the Sox would be in a higher standing in their
division than you guys? But talk to me about first of all, how are they doing it? Because their pitching staff has been ravaged.
They have gotten some guys who have stepped up, and one guy that comes to mind right now is Ben Brown. How he has stepped in and has become the pitcher that they've really needed him to be recently, with all of these arms going down. I mean, it's like a Civil War battlefield, of Cubs, pitchers strewn about, you know what I mean, maimed and hurt and whatnot. And but it's one of those things, like, guys stepping up, guys that they need to step up have stepped up. And when they get healthy, it's really going to be a problem, for the rest of the league. Steele's had a setback, but he's coming. He'll be here by All-Star break, and along with the other guys that they got, I think you got to give hats off to Craig Counsell. He
Bingo.
has got to give hats off to Craig Counsell the way he's kind of plugged in holes with this pitching staff.
What did some guy
He's
say one
done
time?
more with less. A smart man once said, "Coaching matters," and he's done some real strategic stuff, plugged in some holes here with the staff, and hats off to him.
Pinch hitting, all right, key
Pinch
pinch
hitting at
hitters.
the right time. Yeah. Yeah, you saw him bring in Alex Bregman the other night to pinch hit for Nicky Lopez.
Yep.
Late in the game. And you mentioned a lot of things the Cubs are doing right, and another thing they're doing right is just great defense. I mean,
How many freaking Gold Glovers do they have though out there?
Man, I put that infield up against anybody in the league, and then you go to the outfield. You got PCA, you got Ian Happ.
Two Gold Glovers in the outfield.
Yeah, you got the best of the best in there, and the defense, the Cubs and their defense is just ridiculous. Nico Horner he said, "Oh, you gave me the bag? Watch what I do." And he's gone out there and just played lights out in the field, at the plate. It's, I'm a Sox fan, obviously, but the Cubs have been fun to watch because it's just some good quality baseball, well played baseball.
Oh and that's why my Cub fan friends know I give them shit about them being, inbred, lead paint eating Cub fans and everything, but my analysis for the Cubs, my bias for my White Sox doesn't affect my analysis for the Cubs.
Sure.
And I have no problem saying when the Cubs are good, they're good.
Yeah.
Like Nico Horner, like he might be the best second baseman in baseball right now, and it might not even be close.
Right now.
And it might not even be close. And you talked about the defense, but that's what I talked about from the White Sox, and that's what I talked about with the Cubs. When you're strong, and that's for any sport, baseball, football, basketball, hockey. When you're strong up the middle, you're going to have a good defense. You got two Gold Gloves. You got Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, all right, up the middle. You got PCA, Gold Glove in center field. All right. It doesn't get much better than that as far as defensively. You can't get any better than 3 Gold Gloves in the 3 center positions in the baseball diamond.
Big facts.
So they're even though PCA was struggling at the plate, his defense never faltered.
Never fell.
And his stolen base, and he could still get on a base pass and cause havoc. So they're in a really good spot because of their defense. And I think the pitching has held up, but their defense is really what saved them, in addition to the onslaught of some of the guys who are really, really, really hot. Do you see this team ending up Nostradamus? Do you see him taking the NL Central?
You can call me Negro Damus. I'll accept the title. I do see them taking the NL Central because it's early and it's hard to say. And Milwaukee's going to be there.
I know. What are they doing?
I don't know what they're doing right now. I don't know what they're doing right now, but they're going to be there. They're going to end up there.
You want to give them a call, like, "Hey, the season started already. You may want to start."
Right. I mean, they came out gangbusters against our White Sox, but have struggled mightily since. I don't expect Cincinnati to keep up.
Who the hell they have?
And they're still like last, I think, in batting average or runs scored or something like that. Like they can't keep this pace up. And we knew the Pirates weren't going to keep up with their pace. They had a little stint that first place we knew wasn't going to last. So we know, and St. Louis is just going to be in the middle.
Yeah. Dude, what the hell's happened to them? They've just fallen off the pace. They've fallen in the pit of mediocrity.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like with the Cubs resurgence since new ownership, it's been like 10, 12 years now, or whatever, since the Ricketts took over. The Cubs have kind of supplanted that first or second spot in the NL Central, and Milwaukee slid in to be that first or second spot, and it kind of just has left the Cardinals out. But I think it's really because of the Cubs. The Cubs staying kind of steady this past 10 years. Even when they didn't make the playoffs, the Cubs were still a very competitive team, even in their off playoff years. And that's not like the Cubs. You know what I mean? Like, that's historically speaking, when the Cubs got bad, they were bad. You know what I mean? And we haven't seen that bad of a Cubs team and since probably 13, 12, 13 or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. Just as they're acquiring all that talent for that
Yeah.
run.
Yeah. And so for the Cubs to have risen to the level that they're at now, like I saw this kid, some friends of mine in the neighborhood, their son who's wearing a Cubs shirt. I had my White Sox sweatshirt on. It was like, forget the Sox. It's all about the Cubs. I'm like, this kid's like 9 years old. I'm like, kid, you don't know anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, your whole life you've been watching the Cubs, or the past 2 years. Like, you haven't lived the life of a Cubs fan to really understand and to talk.
You don't know the heartbreak.
You don't know what it's like to be a Chicago fan, kid. You're 9. Be quiet. Go somewhere.
Go eat your boogers, Mother Hubbard.
Come back to me when you're at least 20 years old.
Well, all that to say that baseball is good in Chicago, and it's fun because now, this was for the last few years, especially on the South Side, this was the dead time. We're like, okay, when's training camp? When are OTAs? When is mini camp? When is training camp? When is anything? And that's what we're looking for. But
for a lot of people, that's still the case. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, we got some good baseball in the city, and that's on both sides of town, and that's always fun. That's always a great moment for the Chicago people when both teams are competitive.
Yeah, it just makes it more fun. It makes it more exciting for the summer. Great for us, the fans of both sides. The shit talking gets even better. You know what I mean? And that's fun. That's all part of it. And it's just good to have good baseball. Dude, we're the third largest market in the freaking country. We gotta have good teams. You know what I mean? And some of the other organizations, it frustrates me. Which is why a lot of White Sox fans were frustrated. Like, look, stop acting like stop acting like Kansas City and Tampa. All right, we're not them. We are the third largest market in the country. Let's act like one of the big
you're Minnesota or something.
Yeah,
like, come
act
on.
like them. And if we finally got the talent, not huge contract, but we got the talent, and we're developing. So I'm happy to see, at least on the South Side, that we're competitive, we're exciting,
trending upward,
and we are trending upward. We are must-see baseball, at least for the Japanese sensation Munetake Murakami. Mooney. Hey, Emilio, great stuff, man. I appreciate the time. Do me a huge favor, though, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Hey, you can find me Thursday nights on the Go podcast. Thursday nights, we are part of the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Catch us there on YouTube, on
program.
Facebook. Catch us there Thursday nights, 9:00 Central. We'll be there talking all things Chicago sports, as well as a few current events that are shaping the city and beyond.
Cool, man. Cool. Hey, listen, great stuff. I appreciate your time. As I said,
always a pleasure, my brother.
We definitely have to set another time to hit a Sox game, and
we will.
It'll be a Tuesday. It'll be a Tuesday.
Absolutely. You know what time it is.
Hey, you know what time it is? I'm bringing that plastic flask.
Well, you definitely know what time it is.
Great stuff, man. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Emilio.
All right, my brother. Good seeing you. Take care. Right,
guys, that's Emilio Bugs from the Plunked podcast, the On the Go podcast. And he's got he's a rapper. He's an artist. He spits. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let's bring you back. Hold on. Let me bring you back because I want to let you people What you got? Have you released any new songs out that people should go check out on SoundCloud or wherever you have?
Well, my latest project is with my group Senior Class. You can check us out, the Senior Class, on Facebook. We are on all streaming platforms. Senior Class, our latest effort is called The Bakery, which was just released last month. Video will be out for release next week. My name is Emilio Bucks, DJ, producer, sometimes MC, and podcast host. You can catch me all over the place, also on streaming services. I appreciate that. The shout out for my musical
Yeah,
endeavors, my brother.
you got some skills, man. Your flow, man. I was like, oh snap.
Thank you, man.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
I
Hey,
didn't
man,
listen to you.
the old fella still got a few tricks up his sleeve.
You work smarter, not harder.
There you go. That's what's up.
All right, bro. We'll talk soon.
All right, man. Take care.
Thanks. Yeah, our guy Emilio Bucks from the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Terrence and them over there do a great job with their podcasts, and I want to thank him for his time coming out today, talking baseball. This is rare air for Chicago, where both teams are good. All right, both teams are good, and it's fun to see. Southsiders. We're not anti-White Sox. We're probably anti-Jerry Reinsdorf, but we're just not going to go if there's not a good product on the field. We're not going to go if guys who are getting paid millions and millions of dollars are not adhering to the fundamentals. We're not doing that. It ain't going to happen, Captain. I'm sorry. You get paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game, and you're screwing up. And you don't give us effort. You're not running 90 feet. You're missing the cutoff man. You're not going first to third. All these little things. We pay good money for these tickets. We want to see a team that gives a damn and wants to represent the city with pride. So when the White Sox start playing like that, fans start going. And now that our White Sox are playing like that, fans are going. It's that simple. See? See it? It's that simple. I like it. Cub fans, you're in a spot where you're just ready to pounce. It's early. All right, what are you in second place? Third place? I don't think you're in third. I think you might be in second. Yeah, you're in second. Oh, you're a game behind Cincy. How the hell did Cincinnati? Who the hell does Cincinnati have? What do they got over there? But somehow I think Cincinnati will come back. They'll revert back to the medium. They'll remember that they're Cincinnati, and they're going to screw it up. Cincinnati, the Cubs are a game back. St. Louis are 2 games. Cardinals are 2 games back. Milwaukee is 3.5 games back, and Pittsburgh is 4.5 games back. Everybody in your division is at least 500. Pittsburgh is 16-16. My White Sox are 14-17 and 452. We are in third place. Cleveland is tied, has the same record as Pittsburgh, who's last in the NL Central. They're atop. Cleveland and Detroit are 16-16. They're tied atop the division. We are second, 14-17, and we're a game and a half back. So, there are a few things like going to a baseball game. And I know a lot of people say baseball is boring because I was one of those people. And actually, baseball is boring. However, it's very similar to me. It's very similar to the series Breaking Bad. If you watch that series of Breaking Bad, it's very boring. It was slow until something happened. And when things happened, I was like, damn. Oh, damn. And that's how baseball games are. Ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. A lot more ebbs and flows. When the flows happen, it's crazy. All right, because listen, the most difficult thing it is to do in pro sports is hit a moving baseball coming at you at 90 plus 100 miles an hour with movement on it. That's tough. That is tough. But there are a few things better than going to a baseball game on a nice sunny day. Not too hot. 80 degrees, 85 degrees. That's a nice warm day at the ballpark. Tank top, take your shirt off in the bleachers, have a couple beers. I'll probably have some drinks, not beers, but Tito's and 7-Up, because I usually bring my flask. Because I'll tell you what, I bought 3 drinks opening day, came out to $100. I was like, $33, $30 a drink? Oh, man. Unless they overcharged me or something, but I was lit, and that's all I remember. Man. But few things better. And if you're a baseball fan, I highly suggest, and now that I can say this to Sox fans too, get out to the games. Get out to the games. All right? We know what I tell you. Let your lovers know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Make plans with your people. We got 2 good baseball teams, relatively speaking, on the south side. All right, we're much better than we were before. Go see a game. Go check out a game. Have some beers. That's why me, Ken Davis, Emilio Bucks, that's why we do it every year. We go out there, we catch a game, throw some back, have some food. Just catch up. Tickets aren't that expensive. If you want, hell, sit up in the nosebleeds if you want. I like sitting down to 100 level. I don't mind paying $20, $30 for a seat. Cool. Go in the bleachers, 20-something bucks. Mr. Bakes-a-lot, what's up, Bubba? Thanks for tuning in. He said, I spent $120 for 6 shots of JMO and a Sprite chaser. Got to keep them separated. 6 shots. Damn. The Cricket Commission says 2 competitive baseball teams. I think is the fair thing to say. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Cubs are good. Let's keep it a spade, a buck a buck. Let's call a spade a spade. The Cubs are good. They just started off slow. There's not easy out in that lineup. You got Golden Glovers when you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 Gold Glovers out there. Is Bregman a Gold Glover? I don't know. If he's a Gold Glover, then you got 5 Gold Glovers out there. 5 out of 9 positions. That's over half. It's 55% of your defense is a Gold Glove winner. Well, White Sox, they're just young kids who just are dumb enough to think they can win every game. And they fight all 27, which we as Sox fans respect. I think baseball fans in general, but especially as Sox fans, we respect that. It's a big lot. That was in Dodger Stadium like 8 years ago. Probably 300 for 6 shots today. So you know what's funny? They had one of my friends on Facebook. She is she's from Cali. She's a big Dodger fan, and on her Facebook timeline, they have like machines now that dispense Modelos, High Noons, and all that stuff. And I think they're like $20. $20 for a beer. Dude, you realize what you can do with $20? $20, you don't even pay $20 for a 12-pack. You don't pay $20 for a 12-pack. But they got you by the short and curlies. You know, it's you're out there, it's warm, you're with your friends, you just want to have one turns into a couple, you know what I mean? It just, that beer goes, especially when if it's off from the tap, or if if the beer cans have been in there long, if they're in a tub, man, it's cold as hell, and that first beer goes down. Ever have all my beer drinkers will know this? So like, oh man, what? That went down too smooth, too easy. You know, we all know, anyone who drinks beer knows that taste. That went down too easy. Oh man. Well, listen, I want to say 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my man Emilio Bucks for coming on, talking baseball with us. It was let me say hi to some people who I didn't get to say hi to earlier. Mr. Bakes a Lot checked in. Thank you for checking us out, my man. I appreciate it. Patty Lauer is checking in. Good morning, Ma. Thank you for checking us out or for coming on. I appreciate it. I said hi to Crooked Commish. Hello again, sir. I want to make sure. King Booker World, I said hi to. Mondo, my nephew Mondo. AC Adam was in the house. Thank you, Papa, for checking in, man. I appreciate it. And there was one more person I want to say. Of course, the Crooked Commission's in the house. I thought there was one more person. Mondo. You see Adam, Crooked Commission. Plankster. The Plankster's in the house. Thank you very much for coming on in. If I missed you, my apologies. But thank you so much for coming in and checking us out and watching us. You can be doing anything else, and I truly appreciate the love and the support. Hey, listen, make sure you get your stuff. Get your Sports Zone Chicago gear. All right, Cubs. Look at you, Cub fans, in the lower right-hand corner, or next to the Chicago Bears color that says "Coaching Matters." You got the Cub colors that say "Coaching Matters." All right, Craig Counsell's doing one hell of a job right now in the managerial seat, making the right calls, right substitutions, right pitching changes. He is on fire. All right, but don't forget, Bear season's coming up. Get your FGB shirts. Get your Sports Zone Chicago shirts. Get your Coaching Matters shirts. All right, get your Bears Victory Monday shirts. Get your FGB shirts. Get your FGB hats. Get your Good, Better, Best. Get your Good, Better, Best T-shirts. Okay. I don't know what's taking it so long. She's acting up. There it is. And it goes down real quick. Get your Good, Better, Best T-shirts. Hey, get your Good, Better, Best hoodies. All right, get your Good, Better, Best hoodies. All right. I know summertime shy is about to get here, but that's going to go quick. All right, we already saw Shawn. Excuse me. Shawn already got his FGB hoodie. He got the orange one. Going to rocking that in style this football season. Great stuff. So make sure you get that. And don't forget the boat party. The boat party. I got to put the other flyer. I combined the two flyers. I combined the two. Saturday, July 25th, 4:30 to 7:30. Boarding starts at 4. All right, it's the Summer of George boat. All right, 900 South Wells, $55 of the tickets. And what I decided to do was I decided to not have you pay all those fees with Eventbrite. You know, that was crazy. So what we did, showed we can do it a couple of different ways. All right, we can make the payment a couple of different ways. Put those two together. Here, I'll put it together. All right. You can go Zelle, PayPal, Venmo. All right. Just make sure if you do order, you purchase your tickets there in the description. Just put your name and how many people are going. Okay. And I know you're saying, well, Shawn, if they give you $110, you know, 2 people are going. I get it. I can do math. However, It's just a way for me to confirm, okay, that everything's that there are no miscommunications. Okay? It's a way for me to confirm. All right? It's going to be one hell of a time. It's going to be, man, it is going to be lit. That's all I got to say, bro. It is going to be lit. You're not going to want to miss this event. Let me just leave it like that. All right? Cool. So listen. All right, says, yes, sir. We'll be tuning in. The Chicago Clubhouse got me here. Hey, you know what? Well, thanks a lot, man. Big shout out to the Chicago Clubhouse. T. Nick, Foulmouth Chris, JB, Frank the Tank. All right, obviously Emilio, Kristen Petit. All right, and everyone else they got over there. They do great. They do great work over there. You know, the one thing that I've never going to down talk or talk shit about another organization that's good people. Especially if they got a good product, and they do, because we communicate. It's not like if you listen to them, you can't listen to me, or if you listen to me, you can't listen to them. The way we consume our sports talk and our information, it's all over. We can listen to 2 or 3 different four different podcasts, and it doesn't affect either of the podcasts that you're listening to. You're not subtracting when you listen to more podcasts. So, with that being said, guys, have a great weekend. It's gonna be a little nippy, but so what? We're in May, Cinco de Mayo's on Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, but have a good weekend today, all right, or this weekend, and let your loved ones know you love them. Drinks, dinner, lunch, brunch, breakfast, get out there, show them you love them. All right, I got to get out of here, and I'm gonna have a great day. I'm having a good day today, a great day tomorrow. All right, Kentucky Derby. So everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and your boy is out.
Come on, race the race.